real estate lingo. Now, in my world, we obviously know what we're talking about when we're talking about different things that are associated with real estate. But to the average person, when we talk about things like liens, encumbrances, deposits, this, that, and the rest, people kind of look at you and go, okay, I understand the words, but what does that really mean in real estate? So we're going to go through these things very quickly with you and hopefully explain briefly what these things mean. If there's anything that we're missing, please put in the comments in terms of what those are, and we can definitely come back and get that information. And if this is your first time visiting us, join along. Come like, join, follow us, subscribe. We're here for all things real estate. Let's get going. Let's talk about multiple offers. That's a funny one to pick quickly. So what are multiple offers? Essentially, that is when you have more than one offer on a property. Are multiple offers fun? Well, it depends on which side of the equation you're on. As a seller, of course you want multiple offers because now you're really in most control when it comes to dictating price and terms and possession date and conditions and all that other kind of stuff. As a buyer of a property, multiple offers can be extremely frustrating because you don't really know what's being done with other offers. And so when you're having to prepare an offer, you're having to really just put your best foot forward. Now, a really great real estate agent that has a lot of experience and knowledge will have a lot of good tips and tricks and ways that you can put your offer together in a multiple offer situation when you're a buyer that could give you an advantage over the rest of the playing field. Now, am I going to give those suggestions here right now? No, I'm not. But if there's any questions that you do have, like I said, put it in the comments. We'd love to get back to you with some more information. Buyer's market. A buyer's market is when there's actually more inventory than there is people that are looking to buy in that, we'll call it price range or region or whatever the case may be. It really just comes down to supply and demand. And when the supply is high and the demand is low, that's a buyer's market. Seller's market. It's basically the opposite of what I said with the buyer's market. Inventory low, demand for that product high. It cannot satisfy the current inventory levels. So that's the seller's market. I don't know where you live. Are you in a seller's market? Drop us a comment. Dual agency. Dual agency is actually when the same agent is representing two people at the same time. When I first got started into real estate a few years ago, dual agency was very common in brokerages. Honestly, it's something that I don't think most people should enter into. That's my own personal opinion. If others have opinions, once again, put in the comments, suggestions, whatever the case may be. But honestly, if you're looking for true representation, you need someone in your corner 100% of the time. And when you're acting in a dual agency role, you're actually a facilitator, which means that you're not supposed to give advice to one person and not the other person. You can talk more on it, but let's move on. Chattels. There's a fancy word, chattels. It's not a word that's really commonly used in the English world. Basically, the unattached goods that are being left with the property. So that could be things such as your appliances, it could be your blinds, it could be your curtains, anything that would fall under that description. Condo, condominium, condo for short. And condos, of course, are a different type of real estate. When you are buying a condo, it's buying into an association. So you are actually purchasing unit factors into a larger body. You do whatever you want with a condo? The answer is no, you can't. There are bylaws, there are rules, there are fees that you pay every month. That is condo, C-O-N-D-O. Backup offer. I actually just wrote one this morning, so this is perfect. I had a buyer, they went and looked at a condo, right? They're like, we love this condo, we want to put an offer on it. Okay, that's cool, but there's already an offer on it. Can we also put an offer on it? And the answer is yes, you can. Here in Canada, when you write another offer on a property that's already under contract, you can't bump that offer. It doesn't matter whether you're wanting to pay them $100,000 more and you'll take the property tomorrow and you got no conditions. It doesn't matter. The contractual agreement states that the seller is granting the buyer the amount of time that they agreed to in their original agreement. They have to let that go through. Now, if that buyer is asking for an extension or they can't remove their conditions, being a backup offer already accepted can be a great thing, especially in a market right now where there is inventory flying all over the place under $450,000. So that backup offer immediately now gets triggered as now the primary offer. It's really easy. It's just like writing an offer. You send it to the seller, there's negotiations, you come to the agreement, but it is considered a backup offer because the seller can't sell the property twice. Seller's conditions are put in there that contractually relieve themselves from the original deal, but essentially that's what a backup offer is. We encourage it. Conditional offer. Well, I kind of just touched on that a little bit, didn't I? A conditional offer is an offer that has been accepted with conditions. And of course, your conditions can be a variety of things, both from the buyer's perspective and the seller's perspective. Buyer or seller has to have those conditions satisfied for their purpose of actually buying the property or of disposing the property. Possession date. Possession date is the day that you are supposed to get ownership of your property. Now, a lot of things happen on possession date, and we really need to talk about what are ideal possession days. You just can't pick any date on a calendar. Law offices have to be open because they're the ones that are handling mortgages, discharges, the whole 9 yards. So obviously, you can't take possession on a holiday, you can't take possession on a weekend because lawyer firms aren't open on those days. Possession, as per contract, stipulates that you're supposed to take legal possession of the property around noon that day. However, you actually take possession of the property when funds have been verified of landing in the account of the seller's lawyer. We always like it to happen around noon. Circumstances out of our control sometimes make it that we don't get it right at noon. Pending, it means that the status of it is more conditional. Until all conditions are waived, it's not sold. And that's why we talked about things like bringing in backup offers and still marketing the property, even when it's pending. We don't want to stop trying to sell your house. Don't confuse pending from actually being sold. Great that you got an offer, but it's not sold yet. Title insurance. Title insurance is an insurance policy, but it's not an insurance policy like when you get home insurance. If there was something wrong in terms of an error or anything of that nature that could be on title insurance could be there to fix the issue, because you might have some financial responsibilities of actually hiring a lawyer and doing stuff like that. It is actually something that I actually encourage to buyers to talk about with their lawyers in acquiring it, because anybody can buy it. Sellers can buy it to give to the buyers. Buyers can actually buy it. And it's just another little blanket coverage that I don't think is a bad investment when you're actually buying real estate. Sold. It's kind of the end of the chapter, right? When real estate, just like it might be on this video. A sold property is when all conditions have been removed from an offer to purchase. Once that's received, that is done. And so what happens when a property on paper is sold? Real estate offices do the conveying, they send it to the lawyer. That's when we go to you and say, hey, it's time to get some insurance on the property because your mortgage company is going to need that. This is when we are saying, hey, get your utilities in order. This is also when we're telling you don't go spend money on things that you shouldn't be spending money on as well. Like don't go buy a car, don't rack up credit cards. The reason why we say this is because financial institutions, before they actually send the money over, will do another eval on your debt service ratio. And most people don't know that. So halt all major expenditures. Don't run to the brick and spend $20,000 on furnishing your house if you know that your debt service ratio is going to get changed dramatically. I hope these were very helpful. Once again, like, follow us, drop any questions in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Darren Gajelka with the Southern Alberta Homes team with Grassroots Realty South, a better way to real estate.